showing up because we're I think changing the format, and maybe next time we bring a table and set it here.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, so folks, we just restarted the live stream because it was sideways, literally. Thank you, Susan. Good to see you.
Bye. I'll
See you later.
Well, I'll see y'all.
Sure, you taking off?
Yeah, I'm going with her.
Okay, take care.
Good luck.
Well, this is
They're so different.
The number of
And made a difference.
somebody have the list that I was passing around with them.
So Susan gave me one to put my truck.
Oh, that's what
all right. Well, we missed a couple calls, so it's Friday the. What is this today, guys? May what?
26th.
26th. So I missed a couple of calls. We were just talking to Chris Quaglin. John asked a question that got him fired up about how they were intentionally mistreating his food here, how they've been intentionally jerking him around with his ability to get access to his discovery. He's got a new attorney, says Joseph McBride completely didn't do a thing for him while representing him for all this time, and that he requested to have 12 hours a week with his new attorney, and the judge told him he could have 45 minutes every Friday, but not this Friday or several other Fridays. He's only got, I believe, 6 weeks before his trial starts, so he's a little disappointed.
More than just a little.
Yeah, quite a bit. So hopefully some of these other guys will call back, but maybe not. We missed 2 calls while we were talking to him, but I didn't want to cut him off. We haven't talked to him for so long.
That was good to hear it.
You have something to say?
Not a whole lot. Just, somehow I'd like to convey the message to all these guys that call in that they're heroes, and I don't know if it's sunk in or not, but there's other people. We've got non-J6.
You can't talk unless you use that.
We have non-J6 detainees here that they're all pre-trial. Pre-trial detainees are innocent until proven guilty, and if they're innocent, then that means every constitutional right is still there. Yes, there's some guidance when it comes to detaining to make sure they show up in court, but punishment isn't on the table. The 6th Amendment says that you don't get to punish, and yet that's what's happening. And it's happening because of bureaucracies that want to manage the facilities from the perspective of what's most convenient and expedient, and they completely forget about that thing called the Constitution. And what we just heard from Quaglin, it's ridiculous. And if the Constitution can't stand, then where does it stand? I mean, that's the most basic of things. There's 10 amendments to the Bill of Rights. 8 of them apply specifically to this case. What's happening here? This is incorrect, it's bad, and it has to be stopped.
So that was a good point. I think we need to, they're very forthcoming with thanking the Patriots and everyone out here for getting them out of this place. But I think you're right. We need to make sure they understand just how important their ability to stand up and speak out is to not only their own success in getting out of this place, but hopefully to making some changes here. That's where we're headed with all of this, because frankly, it's not just a couple of little things that just happened and were blips in the night. This is a pattern of behavior here that's been going on like this for many years, and it's got to get fixed.
Just to give Tom a little break here, one of the techniques they use in the Northern Neck Regional Jail is the old good cop, bad cop deal. And the way that works is Ted Hall, the superintendent, tells the correctional officers, led by Captain English, what he wants done, then they do it, whether it's depriving rights, roughing up the prisoners, any list of atrocities you can think of. Over and over. When it's time to give relief, whether it's letting them out of the hole or improving conditions for trustees or whatever, English shows up and he's the good guy. And he's always saying, well, gee, I didn't want to do this, but if you cooperate. And a couple times he's specifically talking about, in the case of Samsel, cooperating with the FBI. So Hall has his little shield of I'm trying to think of the right word. Anonymity. Thank you. And this is a regular technique they employ on a daily basis. In fact, one good example is when Samsel was brought back to the facility after his hearing. No, I'm sorry. Shortly after the beating, a few days later, Ted Hall came to the medical facility where Samsel was and asked him what happened to him, as though he had no idea that he'd been beaten, didn't know a thing about it. And Samsel, being the aggressive fellow that he is, said, of course you know about it, you ordered it, and I'm going to make sure everybody knows. To which Hall answered, that'll be the biggest mistake you ever made. So what's going to, I think, happen eventually? All this is going to come out in court. The medical records are going to be accessible. This is all going to come out, and you mark my words, when it comes down to it, Hall's going to claim he has no knowledge, he has no idea why Mr. English would do something like this. And of course, Mr. English will then try to blame on his subordinates, as in the infamous Caleb Taylor, who quit under mysterious circumstances. So anyway, that's the way it's going to all come down. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know why he did that. And it's all going to fall down. It's all going to collapse upon itself. And I think that Mr. Taylor, who we're trying to locate, and if anyone knows where I can find Mr. Taylor, I'd appreciate it. I think that once this all comes out in court, and there are pending cases now, I've been talking with some attorneys. I just recently found out yesterday of a new one that I didn't even know about. Anyway, this is going to all come out, and there's going to be a whole lot of finger pointing going on.
Give me Mr. Taylor's information that you have, and I'll see if I can find it.
Well, the only information I have, I don't want to talk about now with the voting and all, but
Right.
I'd just say I think he's trying to make himself unavailable.
Well, I guess I'll repeat myself on a couple things here because it's sort of a new recording.
One sideways, one
Yeah.
not.
I highly recommend anybody who wants to come to some more of these sentencings in D.C. It's really not that bad. I left the house at 20 to 6.
What's that?
And I was in D.C. at 8:45. So
It's only 3 hours.
yeah, yeah. So
and you went home and came back the next day.
yeah, I did it back twice, but not bad. So Barry Ramey is going to be June 1st at 10 a.m. That's one. Barry's been such a faithful caller and such a great advocate for all those guys and helping us.
Texas.
I don't remember where Barry's from. He's in here.
Florida.
Florida.
I knew it was down south somewhere.
Texas and stuff.
And then Cal Young is going to be June 7th. Marcus Malley, June 9th. Howard Adams, June 16th. Same day as Mason Corson. And then Dan Rodriguez on June 21st. These are all available online. It's you can look up the United States Courthouse, the District of Columbia Court, District of Columbia District Court. It's the Barrett Pretty Man. It's a funny name. Barrett Pretty Man United States Courthouse on Constitution Avenue 333. Very easy to get there. You can take the you can take the Judiciary Square Metro in and just walk right down, just 3 blocks down the street. Or there's plenty of parking garages. $15 for a day. Not bad. I can't believe that you can still get away with $15 parking in DC. All right, we're gonna see if anyone else calls, and then we're gonna wrap up.
The long cord.
Did you see that guy's sweatshirt before?
No, it's all ski now? She'll show it to you. See ya.
What?
Sometimes I have to wonder if they knew what they were saying about the whole show truly, because I think they don't. I don't think they quite have an appreciation for what that's all about.
Well,
They do it because it's cool. Because that's what my homies would do. And they have no clue. I do like the idea of changing the format up a little bit, maybe setting up a table. That would be good.
What's the table for?
To hide my belly, if you don't mind.
We get a big table.
If you like that, you get a vest.
Is from
James Tate Grant.
this call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. To accept this call, you may begin speaking now.
Hey James, how are you?
Hey Tom, what's going on? What's up? Yeah, thank you everyone for being there. Hope everyone's having a good night. I hope the weather's getting better out there, and I guess it's Warsaw, Virginia, right, where you guys are holding it?
Yeah, we're still here. We're out in front of the jail. We had one night where we went in town to the Pavilion Park in town, and we may do that again at some point. But yeah, we talked to Chris Quaglin tonight. First time we talked to him in a while. But the phone's been kind of quiet. Then a couple calls came in while we were speaking to him, so hopefully that wasn't you.
Yeah, it was, but I figured that's what was out because the other guys told me Chris Quaglin was on. It was actually the first J6er I ever met. I met him in Northern Neck, and that place is hell. I mean, it's, I remember I saw another J6er, Mason Corson, over there, and he had gotten in trouble over something, just the jail overstepping their boundaries, and he wouldn't do something, so they kept him over there for like 3 full months, and I got in trouble for something really stupid, because you could, something like turning in your tablet late that they gave us for like 10 minutes out of the day, but yeah, so I get sent over there. It is just a nightmare over there. There's no respect. All the terrible accommodations you can expect from Northern Neck. And Mason's like, I see Mason, he's like, yeah, this place isn't even a nightmare anymore. It's hell.
I think that's...
You gotta laugh at it sometimes.
Yeah. So I was at the sentencing this week with Nick Brockhoff, and for one thing, they use his age against him. I don't know if you know about that, but if you're under 25 years, that throws you into a higher tier of sentencing. But the other thing the judge said was they gave him good credit for was the fact that he had not gotten into trouble once, and on top of that, he was at Northern Neck of all places to not get in trouble.
Oh man, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's really, it's making me want to kick myself though, because when I first got here, I had an issue where I didn't know it was against the rules to put money on someone else's books because there's a spending limit, and I missed it, and I got a charge for that. So I wonder how much that's going to work against me. But you know how much time they gave him off for that?
No, but it was just one of a list of things that he had kind of going for him. You know, no priors and that kind of stuff. But it was just very, very interesting that Northern Neck came up in quite a few of the sentencing discussions I noticed.
So they said, well, what exactly did they say? Like,
well, it's something that I have to look at my notes and it's getting dark, but the one that I mentioned there about this is a kind of place where you would normally get into trouble. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank right now what the other thing was.
they didn't mention how terrible it was, and that wasn't a factor. Because I'm pretty sure I heard Josiah Kenyon got 6 months off for being at Northern Neck.
Oh, really?
I don't know if anyone heard about all the drama surrounding that gentleman, but yeah, a lot of interesting stuff. A lot of stuff comes out in jail, but you know, I think the rest of the core J6ers in here are doing well. We're doing well. We're not doing that well in soccer though lately. My team did win today, but we've got a thing going where it's literally like 6 J6ers. But we play against like everyone else, and it's like an all J6er team. And we tied them 6-6 the first day, and we lost 4-3 the next day. But you know, those are our first 2 games. So, but we got some real good players on our team, and it's just like a thing of pride. Like we're playing for the J6ers. It's awesome. It's 5 out of 6 or 6 out of 7 of the guys are J6ers. So it's like an all J6er team. It's awesome.
That's cool. That's really cool. It's so great you get to do that too. I mean, how are you feeling physically nowadays? You know, is it...
Oh my God. Oh my God. Total difference. I mean, at Northern Neck, I was like shrunken down. You're like veal there. You don't move. I mean, you literally don't move for months at a time. I mean, I know that place took some time off my life, and I think, yeah, I've said this before, but I think if I went back, I would starve. Or I don't know. They would literally have to take me kicking and screaming. I don't think I would do it. The food, oh my God. I mean, we talked about it, but there's just no nutrition there. I mean, you can't, oh my gosh. They do sell flossers for like $5. They give you a couple of cheap flossers, and your teeth bleed so much because they don't give you any fruit. I think they give you this terrible juice that I've heard, you know, terrible stories about, but scurvy, and your mouth is just bleeding. Like, I'm talking gushing. Like, oh my gosh. Like when you haven't flossed for like a year. And so my dental health is way better. You can get actual toothbrushes here. Oh my gosh, so my dental health is better. I'm in way better shape already. You know, I played soccer the last 3-4 days, and yeah, it's just crazy how they don't let you out there. It's just not a long-term facility. I could see Northern Neck being like what it was if people only ever came there for like a month max. But I mean, people are there for years, and it's so cruel to...
This call is from a federal prison.
And yeah, it's just so, it's horrible to keep people there for years. And I know Christopher Quaglin just called, and that guy definitely had a rough time in Northern Neck. And, you know, jails don't like it when you try to fight back or, you know, involve lawyers in anything. I guess they feel like it makes their job harder. And, you know, he was doing that when I met him back in January. So, you know, he was having a rough time of it then. But I hope he's doing better in D.C. I know all the attention might have been good there. But, and you know, there was one guy, Ronnie Sandlin, who when he got to Northern Neck, he goes, oh my God, D.C. is heaven compared to this place. So, and yeah, that's a D.C. gulag, but yeah, all he could talk about was getting back there. And yeah, he said it smelled like expletive as soon as he got into the unit, because the hygiene there is terrible. So yeah, long story short, yeah, I'm doing way better. We all are. I mean, we look like different people. I remember when I first got to Lewisburg and I looked at everyone, the first thing I noticed is that everyone looks huge and like way healthier. And yeah, I mean, and I think, I don't know if you heard, I'm sure you heard, but Marjorie Taylor Greene said on Capitol Hill she was going to launch an investigation into a couple of jails, I think Northern Neck being one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard about that.
I think I did hear that, but yeah, hopefully she'll hopefully she'll get a hold of the Patriots and some other, John Haynes, and we've got a wealth of information from you guys. I'm looking forward to what the Trump team's going to do, because I think you've heard of a lady named Joanna Miller, who worked for Peter Navarro, has been specifically tasked by Trump to learn as much as she can about J6. So I can't wait for that information to come out as well.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome news.
Yeah, so she interviewed John, she called me, we sent her all kinds of information, and there's a lot that's going to happen here at this jail, and I think it comes down to the fact that you guys were brave enough to stand up and speak out about what happened. So that's getting a big plus.
I want him to know.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't much of another option. I think when enough of us got together, we're like, this is horrible, and we got to get out of here somehow. And even other inmates would be like, yo, y'all gotta do something. Y'all need to get on the phone. Like, other inmates would be telling us to call into the vigil and speak up. And anytime the guards overstep their boundaries and we're doing something, they would literally all say to us, like, y'all gotta call your lawyer, y'all gotta call your people, y'all gotta, do. It was, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it's, how some inmates might think, oh, those J6ers, whatever they may think, oh, they're these. But I got to say, their opinion changed when we started getting stuff done for the better for them. So I'm glad that could happen, because, if we're the greatest country on earth, we can't have jails like that. I mean, that place is, it's the nightmare, as Mason Corson would say.
It is a nightmare, I do believe the walls are starting to crumble, and it's going to be very interesting. The jail board meeting's coming up in a week or so. We're going to devise a new strategy of something to throw, egg on their face. So we'll, like we always do every month, and so I'm looking forward to it. And yeah,
it took a lot, didn't it? Like, we kept, and it didn't seem like the marshals really did anything, and we had to keep pushing. But we had to use some unusual avenues that I feel like it shouldn't have taken that much work. But
So one of the attorneys, the attorney for Nick Brockoff, I watched his sentencing. He asked me directly, do you know why they canceled the contract there? And I said, well, no, but we have our ideas. So that's interesting to think about, that word is out there. It's all over.
They canceled the federal contract?
Yeah. So
are you kidding?
No, that's what we hear. So I don't have the details of it, but that's why there's no more coming in. I mean, think about it. The Jeffrey Brown was the last one in March to be taken out of here. There hasn't been any new ones back in.
Wow, yeah. I mean, Barry Ramey had said that he didn't think any Virginia jails were taking people, but I think there are still people at Alexandria. So
right.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just like the Central Virginia ones, like Rappahannock and stuff, or they just kind of, I guess they just consolidated the Lewisburg, D.C. and Alexandria. So, but
I don't know, but there's some really great legislation that's working its way through the Virginia legislature this year. Again, it's a follow-up to the Senate Bill 581 from last year, which was looking into commissary, phone calls, all the ways they skim money off of you guys. Set of new bills back out again this year, so that's stuff that will get bipartisan support. So I think that's an area we want to help try to support and get the message out on that stuff too. But that'll change everything. Ted Hall told us there was $1.7 million if that legislation goes through. That would be the annual impact on this place. So that just tells you how much they're skimming off of 400 souls every single day here, 365 a year.
Yeah. Oh no, it's sad. I mean, and if you are unfortunate enough to not have any commissary money, I mean, you will literally starve. I mean, the things that a soup there is worth so much, and both, figuratively and literally, like, it's crazy. And yeah, I mean, a soup will buy an entire tray, but I say entire tray, but they're horrible and inedible. But
10 trays.
But yeah, soup per tray. That's the standard line. But yeah, that's awesome. And a lot of the guys couldn't call in. They got minutes issues. I think the CARES Act is ending, so it's a little harder for them to call in. But Yeah, a lot of us too are a little shaken up. A little, this week had some news with the sentencing for the Oath Keepers. So that was something. But we're happy about Nick. Nick just left, and we're glad for him. But it came in the middle of some rough news. Kenny Harrelson, I guess, got 4 years, so he's probably all right. But
This call is from a federal prison.
But yeah, Kelly Meigs and Stuart Rhodes and Jets Watkins definitely got some time.
They were long sentences. Robert Morse got 66 months.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not. And then I hear they're appealing to try to get more time. Like they weren't happy with that.
Oh really? I did not hear that.
That's illegal. They can't do that.
Yeah, from what I've heard, the prosecution is appealing because they don't think it was enough time.
Wow. Yeah, I don't remember what the recommendation was, but I think it was up to like over 100 months. So
109. Yeah, 109 months,
okay.
which I think it's like 10 years.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, he thought the military. I guess they kind of used the military and teacher stuff against them.
Yeah, you're right. They did. On the one hand, it's such an honorable profession, but at the same time, it's kind of scary to have you out there teaching our young minds. Like really, I heard that burned me up. And then the fact that when the judge asked him, well, why did you do what you did, and he did relay that maybe the situation with the flashbangs and the rubber bullets and the tear gas and everything else going on, kind of put him back into a place that he'd lived through. So I don't know. It felt like it was almost a setup kind of a question. I don't know how he could answer it any other way than he did, but he did well, I thought.
I guess we all get asked those kind of questions, huh?
Yeah, I think so. They're trying to make an example. That's what this is all about. But it's not over. It's not over. The appeals begin, and then there are going to be other avenues. When we take back our country, you guys are coming out. So don't lose hope.
In the meantime, they're heroes.
That's music to my ears. Thank you, Tom.
Yeah. And you guys are heroes. So keep it up. Just stick together, and we're going to get through this. We're not.
I appreciate it.
Away.
Appreciate it, Tom. Thank you guys. And I'm getting beats right now. I'm going to get cut off any second. But thank you guys so much for coming out there, and thank you for your words, Tom.
All right.
We are going to get through this. Thank you.
You bet. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Thanks. Take care.
Only in America could it happen this way. First the injustice, and then the ones that the injustice was committed against, rising up with the help of those of us on the outside. What happened?
Now I'm being told we're not back on. I don't know what happened. It says it's recording. She may.
So the phone is going to be recording, but you may have lost transmit from your internet connection. So your phone will still have it. So when you go to post it, it'll all be there.
Yeah, it doesn't record onto the phone.
Oh, it doesn't?
No, it's right directly to the prison live stream.
Okay.
She may not have clicked on the right. There'll be a new one that popped up.
Yeah, it would have separated two totally separate streams from horizontal to vertical.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's just, I learned something new. It says there, I got to wear my glasses and see what the fine print says, because it was telling me that it's starting in portrait mode, even though the phone was turned sideways. And let me show you, so you know.
I got it.
Yeah. I mean, if the legend is across the top, you're good. If the legend's on the side, this way,
then you're bad.
Then you're bad. That's right.
So I think one of the things, I'm going to put together a list of stuff that the organization needs to buy. Is you're going to do this? This is visibility. This is where it starts. This is the seed.
Yeah.
Right here. And
well, this platform works well. I'm fine with that. I don't know, didn't you say you're going to buy something?
we're talking hardware to enhance the way you're leverage. It's camera, obviously access point, but it's not enough to just do streaming without actually recording in real time.
Well, that's the idea. I mean, we could do I could do GoPro, which is great quality, record it on that device and then go home and upload it. This way it's automatically live if people are trying to watch.
Right. So one of the things I see out there in the world on the internet is like, I'm going to pick on Phil Godlewski because he did this, and I hate Phil Godlewski. He did this. So he would upload his stuff to Rumble, but he would do it live on, what was it? The channels that you would bring them up on.
Well, there's
Is that yours?
D-Live
Yeah.
and there's Rumble and
Yeah,
there's,
there was
Doctor.
D-Live and
How was it talking?
there was a
Spider
couple of
and-
live stream channels that this guy had, but you couldn't like go to it afterwards and look at it after. But then so he'd have that same stream on Rumble.
Excuse me. So I'll walk over here with you.
See y'all later.
Thanks a lot, John.
All right, take care.
You and I still need to get together. I'm going to have a session at the NMP meeting someday.
Yeah, I have to look it up because somewhere once a month they get free, like computer literacy and stuff.
I'm with you. I haven't had a free day since, I don't know, I was 12.
No, I just saw something recently. I think I saved.
That's great. Why'd you tell Reed's going to do an investigation? I saw a video. I didn't get a chance to watch it. Of them presenting the J6ers in DC for their second Sunday.
I did see that. I
You saw the video?
Whatever I saw was like a minute and a half. It wasn't long. It wasn't detailed. I was just saying that that's what she was going to do because she's pissed off, and I get that. She's got passion.
I wonder if she actually saw the packages.
Nobody knows. Well, this place is on the list. If they're going to dig into the Northern Neck Regional Jail, this place is on the list.
All those J6ers are saying how they were treated.
Well, if you've got a judge that's given time off for having done time at all here, that says a lot about what happens here. I hope that's right.
Yeah, I can't wait for Turnbull to go to jail. This jail.
Yeah, let's put it right here. We can hold them right here.
I'll get to it, Trey.
What is best for you? No, that's what I'm saying.
I'm sure that everybody's their minds have changed since the second series.
Wagner did give me some good additional information. He gave me the name of a woman who transferred to Milwaukee, a woman CEO that said she'll testify.
Oh wow,
So, anyway,
that's great. So John just took a call. He's got somebody giving him the name of a CO that worked here that now works at another location who claims that she'd be willing to testify against what she saw go on in this place. That's what we need. That's what we need.
Yeah.
All right. Well, a few minutes and we're going to do the anthem and get on out of here.
Sounds like a plan. Speaking of which, I've got a couple of detours to make while we wait for that. Thank you.
Are we doing the recording or we're going to just sing? Okay. All right. idea of getting together and just having the chairs to sit around.
Yeah.
Especially when, you know.
Keeps you out of the spotlight a little bit.
Well, it spreads it around because what happens is we're having conversations behind camera, but they're really good conversations that should get on here. And I don't think I got no pride of being the MC here. You know what I mean? Somebody was motioning for her to come up, and I worry a little bit about what she might have to say, but she didn't do it. So. Whether we bring Debbie into our round table. She seems comfortable with you. Yeah.
Yeah, but we have another coming up first.
Well, while I share the frustration in that, I do have to acknowledge that she's at a disadvantage.
It's not her fault, I guess.
So I'll send you out the link to this NPR site if you're interested, because I wanted to spend more time on it, just going down by state or by individual. Some names I never heard of, or other names I had.
Yeah, it's it's kind of hard. You know, there's what did that thing say? There's 1,050 thereabouts changes a little bit. They have intentions of going after more. I guess with the footage that they won't release to the public is because there's 200 to 400 federal operatives in the crowd that were egging everybody on. Anyhow, this stuff has aggravated me, so stay there. Stay there.
Stretch your legs.
I truly appreciate what these guys have done.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. I'd love to have a great reunion for them when they're all out.
Well, agreed, and it's interesting to think about that. I'm sure these sentences were a hard thing for them, hard pill to swallow this week.
Right, and I would expect them to be down for a little bit, but they're in the fire. They may not be able to see what we see. And it's just part of the process. Your sentencing is just another day. Because you know that you're getting it's just another day. Don't take it personally, don't get down because you always knew that it was going to be there. That's easy enough for me to say.
Right. Well, so we were just chatting here about how hard some of these guys are taking it. Guys are down about seeing these Oath Keeper sentences. Stuart Rhodes, 18 years, and Kelly Meggs, 12 years, and others, you know, with 5 to 6 years. And so it's a little disheartening, but I think if they go into it knowing that it's going to be aggressive or it's going to be worst case, then at least they might have a little bit of room to improve. But it's like I told James, it's not over. It's not over.
It's not.
So, all right. Well, we're getting there. We're almost ready. 8:59, and we're just going to sing tonight. So we might as well get started. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. USA, USA, USA.
Happy Memorial Day, everybody.
Yes, absolutely. Happy Memorial Day. Think about everybody while you're having a good time.
All right. Good job too on the singing.